Hi there, my name is Josephine Delta. I am a master's student at Wittenberg University of Applied Sciences. I major in entrepreneurship and innovation. And today I would like to talk to you about something important: professional based learning. Professional based learning is very critical for new graduates, soon to be graduates, and students in general, because this program introduces the working environment to students with no experience or minimal experience. This program is critical to helping students to properly integrate and learn the cultures of the working environment. But due to the COVID-19, we have experienced and seen a major loss in jobs. And what does that mean? It means that even students will even have lesser opportunities to be able to get internship or other opportunities that will help them to learn something in the workplace. And why is this important for us to know that if we want to raise future leaders, future entrepreneurs, or future workers, they need to be properly situated in the working environment. They need to understand how the workplace operates. Without this knowledge, a lot of students have been feeling ill prepared for the working environment, which means when they actually do get employment, they take longer time to adapt. They take longer time to understand the culture of the organizations. So, not having professional based learning in this critical time has proven to be more of a damage to the new generation of graduates, more now than ever before. In my experience as a sales representative intern, I have seen how professional based learning has helped me to gradually understand and to translate theory from classroom to the working environment, to know the difference and to be able to adapt and grow, and to help me to also understand the industry that I would like to pursue a career in. So, speaking about my experience in sales, I have seen how micromanagement has affected our department. And I will tell you also how project based learning was able to help us to properly change that narrative, restore proper communication in our department, to re-establish a healthy, smooth working environment that I was first introduced when I first started. A little backstory. So when I first started, the pandemic was not at the height that it is now. So we were mostly working in the office. But when things started to increase, like the number of infections started to skyrocket, the Dutch government changed the regulation for workplace, scrutinized it. So our managers were forced to establish a different procedure, a hybrid working place procedure for all interns and workers in general. And what did that create? Because now we were shuffling between working from home and working in the office, our managers did not have a say or when we closed, when we were not in the office. So he wasn't sure what we were actually doing while we were not within the office building, which brought about micromanagement. Although not intended, he would constantly ask us for daily feedbacks to know how work was progressing at home. That did not actually help. Why do I say so? Because when you are trying to work from home and you're constantly being hounded for feedback, you will find yourself being in a situation where you don't feel productive, you get more anxiety, and thus will make any time a message from the manager comes in is straight up fear. So I noticed that that was not very progressive and it was not helping our working dynamic. So what I decided to do was use something I learned from professional based learning. And what is that, you say? What I learned from professional based learning is to use appreciative theory. What is appreciative theory, you ask? Let me tell you. Appreciative theory is a way of recognizing all the positive things about an organization. Rather than looking for a problem to solve, you look for the attributes of the organization that was positive and enriching, and something that maybe could have been lost along the way that you can hold on to use it as a baseline to formulate a solution for the problem. So using professional appreciative theory, which is the framework model, is divided into 4 Ds: discovery, dream, design, and destiny. So how was I able to use this framework to help not just myself but my colleagues? What I did was I inquired from my colleagues and I said, are you also experiencing this much feedback daily from our manager as I do? Once we were able to realize that it was the same thing all around, then we were able to diagnose the problem, which was micromanagement of the department. Then discovery. Then we asked ourselves, we said, this wasn't happening before when we were in the office altogether. And it was minimum when we were at the office, even with the scheduling. So what was different now? Then we realized that what was different was the fact that we were not within our manager's eyesight. He could not inquire or communicate with us as easily. And we even realized among ourselves, the way communication was happening, it had deteriorated. And there was a lot of information that was lost along the process because of the different places and working at different times. So, what was the solution to this? That's where we come to the dream. I decided that there has to be a way for us to formulate a plan that, regardless of our location, things can still be done. So we approached our manager and we said that, okay, we need to create a system whereby no matter what our schedule is, we will still be able to effectively do our jobs, communicate with one another effectively, get the things done, and make sure that the process of the sales department is always smooth, regardless of where the workers were. So what did we do? After this consultation with our manager, we decided to now go into the design. What is the design? The design is implementing something or a plan that you have formulated, which was in the dream. We formulated our plan now. So now we realize that we could simply solve our problems by using an app called Trello. Trello has multiple functionalities, which helps us to write down each person's name, and under each person's name, whatever you need them to do, you write it down under their names. And once the person has been able to establish or complete that task, they just take it off. Then both parties are informed about what has transpired. So we realized that, okay, this is very productive. Now you could also write a task, write the time you would like the task to be delivered to you, and also give a deadline if need be. So with this, we were able to restore proper communication between ourselves. So finally, the destiny. Once we were able to establish this process, we saw a huge change in the flow of our progress. We saw that we were more productive, we were more initiative when it came to working, we had more strategy, we had more innovation, And it was amazing. We were doing well. And the consequence of this change in dynamics, change in workflow, also changed the way our manager started to relate with us. Now, the micromanagement became at a bare minimum because our manager didn't have to wonder what we were doing at any given time, because on the app it states exactly what we were doing at what time we were supposed to be doing it. So if there was any person falling behind, it was a simple, hey, what is going on? But generally, we went from a daily feedback to twice in a week, which helped us to prepare better for when it is time for us to give our manager a feedback. So that is how I use appreciative theory in my sales department to help teams to establish back a healthy working environment. So, back to what I was saying before, professional based learning is extremely important to every student. With professional based learning, I wouldn't have had the facilities or the understanding to do what I needed to do in my department. I hope this information was of use to you. I hope you have learned something new. I hope you have a blessed day and goodbye for now.